I'm not great at writing down A, B, C, D. This is what we need to get done this week. This is what I'm going to get done this month. But I will say when I'm stressed the most, or when I feel that pressure hit me, I will start breaking down and start trying to really focus in on my task. The reason I do that is because, like, one, I don't got time to just be focused on the woe is me stuff. Like, I got to really have a plan to either get us out of where we're in, or maybe avoid that thing I might see coming, or I see the signals of something happening, or I'm preparing for our next peak season. So if I'm working towards actionable items every single day and kind of just really staying focused on things that really have an impact on the business, that you could really see some change from it, those are things that like keeps your mind focused and keeps you, not really worrying about the day-to-day pressure, where you're just focused on your task and focused on your goals at a high level. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 9% Show. I am your host, Steven Burton, and here at the 9%, y'all know we keep everything 100. If I haven't done it, not doing it, or not about to do it, it would not come out my mouth. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 9%. And like we always do around this time here at the 9%, we give a toast to the 9%ers out there and those that wish to get into the 9% club one day. Toast to y'all. Toast to y'all. Ooh, slamming my glass. Well, yeah, okay. We're here for another week, and this time we are actually, this is such an episode. This is episode number 40. 40 straight weeks we've been here on YouTube giving you the gems after gem after gem. And you know what you should do to thank us? Go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and tell somebody about these videos, okay? Because we are sitting on a landmine of all these gems, and as soon as it gets cracked, it's gonna go like this. And you'll be able to tell people like, yeah, I was a day oneer. But for everybody else, hey, welcome to the 9%. We're glad to have you here. And we go get this thing going on for this week. This week, we are talking about the entrepreneurial mindset, thriving under pressure. Dum, dum, dum. So pressure is something that just comes hand in hand with entrepreneurship. It is something you cannot avoid. It is something that just is what it is. And you either can deal with it or let it overtake you and dominate you in all your moves. So I think first it's going to be good to kind of understand the type of pressures that are in entrepreneurship. So if you're thinking about starting a business, not really in it, or you're already an entrepreneur, got your business going, and you're listening to this episode and you're saying, wow, there's somebody that could relate with me. I thought it was just me. No, it is just not you. Okay. We all go through it. We all have to fight these type of battles. And today we're going to be talking about what those things look like, how we can kind of manage it, how we can kind of get through with it, and, how we can just bust through and get success out of it, no matter what's going on in our entrepreneurial life. So we're going to understand some of the pressures in entrepreneurship. And like I said, I am not immune to any of these, okay? One of the, main pressures that you have with entrepreneurship is the financial crisis, left and right. Always something going on. I speak a lot about cash flow, how I spoke on previous episodes, how negative cash flow almost took down my business. It is just such your finance is like unless you just a millionaire and money ain't a thing, you can waste money all you want and, it's not a big deal to you. You probably ain't feeling what we talk about. But for the most of us out there, most of us 9%ers, most of us small business owners, we are constantly worried about the bottom line. We are constantly worried about a bank account. We are constantly worried about payroll and everything else going on. It just is what it is. So the pressure to keep the lights on, keep the business afloat, that is a pressure that does not go away. It's always there. And so that's one type of pressure there. Operational challenges. The processes of the business, what's going on, thinking about new processes, currently at perfecttux, we over here establishing a new returns way, something to offer customers, but it's all this stuff, decisions, it's just what's going on, implement it, do we got time to implement it, are we gonna be downtime, what's going on, will customers love it? There's just always something going on. How to make people more productive, how to make, I don't know, anything operational wise, it's a pressure. It's a decision. Speaking of decisions, one of the higher things in pressure is high stake decision making. Like, there is not one decision that I make that is just for laughs and giggles. Like, it really makes a difference. It can either make me or break me. It can either, lose a job or not lose a job. And like, it's just, it's a lot. And I would say, the decisions you have to make when it's more, especially when it's to the point what kind of ties into financial crises that you could have, but when you don't really have the luxury to make too many bad decisions. When it's like a bad decision can take you out of business or severely impact your bottom line. Those are some tough decisions to make. Or like investment decisions, like where to invest your money, where to, new products, new service, new offerings. I just got back from a big trade show in Vegas. It's called Magic. Definitely, if y'all looking for a plug in the fashion world, you definitely should look up Magic Las Vegas, and you should definitely be there if you're in any of the fashion retailer world. But, being there, it's like everybody trying to tell you something, like from new collections to clothes to, services to products to sourcing. But it's like nothing is cheap. And nothing is just for laughs and giggles. Like, everything is a decision, and it's tough decision makings. You got deadlines, critical deadlines you're sticking with. Those are pressure. Like, especially for your seasonal businesses, or maybe always focusing, like for us, we focus hard for like prom and summer season, for wedding season. And it's like, that's happening. So you're counting down, like preparing for that, doing what you have to do. Like, oh, is this going to be ready in time? Am I going to have this inventory in time? Like, there's just always something going on. Market competition. Like, what's your competitors doing? Are there any new people that started up? I'm looking at some things. I'm like, oh, our Google ranking dropped, and like, who's this over here getting all the clicks now? And it's just so much stuff that you gotta look at, see what's going on. That creates it's just constant pressure of almost like what's the worst thing that could happen? You're constantly thinking about it because in reality, it could happen, and it could happen tomorrow, or it could happen next year, or it could happen this. It's like so much unknown, and it's just like, how do you deal with that? How do you manage it? So, first of all, I'm not going to say I have all the answers because I'm only human and I go through things, but I'm going to speak on some stuff that, kind of helped me manage the stress, stayed focused. So that's what we go kind of talk about next, is just managing the stress and like focusing under pressure. And that is a hard thing. And I think one of the first things I'll say as far as advice there is that you want to prioritize and focus. So you really want to focus on, I would say, the immediate and the actionable task. Like, you really want to start. I'm not great at writing down A, B, C, D. This is what we need to get done this week. This is what I'm going to get done this month. But I will say, when I'm stressed the most, or when I feel that pressure hit me, I will start breaking down and start trying to really focus in on my task. The reason I do that is because, like, one, I don't got time to just be focused on the woe is me stuff. Like, I got to really have a plan to either get us out of where we're in, or maybe avoid that thing I might see coming, or I see the signals of something happening, or I'm preparing for our next peak season. So if I'm working towards actionable items every single day and kind of just really staying focused on things that really have an impact on the business, that you could really see some change from it, those are things that like keeps your mind focused and keeps you not really worrying about the day-to-day pressure, where you're just focused on your task and focused on your goals at a high level. Thankfully, I'm at a point right now where like delegation and team support is something that lessens the pressure. One of the key things is hopefully you can build a team of people that can grind with you under pressure. You don't want them people that like, they see some cracks in the ice and they're like, is my check go clear this week? Oh, I got to go. So, you don't hopefully want those type of people, but at the same time you have to be a strong enough leader to like lead other people. But it is good having people around you that you can, during crunch time, everybody's putting their heads together and everybody's working with one common goal. So that's important. And hopefully you can get to the point where you are able to build a team. Maybe you have a co-founder, maybe you have some partners that you can trust, that's easily to trust, so it's easier to trust your team. We spoke about, a couple episodes back of like, do you need a co-founder? Do you need a business partner? And that's one of the reasons we talked about in that episode is just like, it is good to keep everybody grounded, keep everybody challenged, keep everybody honest, and keep everybody, working and keep everybody motivated to one goal there. So that's the kind of the things where I kind of see like, managing the stress and dealing with that. Also, I'll say like, it's good to know that, and like I said, that's what these shows are for, but it's good to know that you are not the only person dealing with this. And this is when it comes out to like literally like seeking help, seeking advice, finding that mentor, finding somebody that's done it, just finding anybody. There's even business coaches or business therapists out there, entrepreneur therapists, that because like the pressure of startups and the pressure of like just knowing you have so much other people's lives in your hands and, people dependent on you, that is a lot to deal with. And like, we're all not just self-healers and mental yoga experts. It's like, sometimes you need to talk to somebody about this stuff. So I do think, speaking to somebody, seeking somebody out, whether it's a mentor, whether it's somebody, whether it's professional help, whatever it is, I really think that is important, and I highly suggest doing that. For me, I was able to finally find like mentorship and people that I could bounce off ideas with when I joined a business accelerator program. But if you can find something like that, find your local SCORE office, find your local small business development center. There are resources out there and people out there that is willing to help, that has been through what you've been through, felt what you felt. And sometimes it's just great just knowing you're not alone in these thoughts and in these feelings. So that kind of helps out there. All right, let me go get to the next part here. All right, and so the final point we're gonna talk about is that you wanna thrive, okay? Thrive, and not just survive under pressure, okay? When the pressure is coming, you need to still be busting through that thing, okay? And one of the ways you do that is keeping a positive outlook. And you're like, Steve, that sounds so cliche. Well, every once in a while, I gotta bust out these cliche things because they are true, okay? And when I'm talking about a positive outlet, it's like our outlook. You, as the leader of the ship and the leader of the boat, okay, you need to stay focused. You can't be this Debbie Downer walking around everywhere, okay? It is gonna succumb everything you do, okay? When you need to you need to think back and recognize the times when you beat the odds in the past. Like, remember those times. I'm sure your journey as an entrepreneur was not all sweet, was not all whatever. Think back, or even maybe before you became an entrepreneur, just even getting the balls to start a business, it is a hard jump. So think back to the times where you like defied the odds, where everything was going this way and you was able to survive it. Recognizing those and remembering those key moments will force you to be like, okay, you know what? I've done this before. I've been through this before. I know what this feels like. I could overcome this. Oh, it used to be a whole lot worse back then. Like now, some of the perfecttux problems are larger problems, but heck, I still had problems when I had 5 sales. It was just a different type of problem. But now it's like, okay, well, got a couple of employees, got a couple of this. Well, it's a little larger of a problem, but hey, there's still some stuff, I ain't like I came into this thing just, floating on the carpet. It's been a lot of grind and hustle. So understanding that kind of really, helps you out there. And then 2, like, you don't want to let it freeze you. Okay. You do not want to let it freeze you and stop you in your tracks. It's okay to, have a day, 2 days, kind of like, like what am I going to do? Plotting, don't understand the situations, but you need to recognize it. Okay. You need to plan your attack. Okay. And you need to keep working, keep grinding, because that's the only way you're going to make it out to the other side. That's the only way you go conquer that pressure. And then, it's just by working. And like, the past things I said about, focus on the immediate task and stay, stay focused, stay working. That kind of falls under this so that you can stay working and know how to handle the pressure. But at the end of the day, just take comfort in knowing that it is not going away. It is not going away. You will always feel pressure, but like with fear and everything else we talk about here on the 9%, we just learn how to operate with it better and not just make it through. Okay, we want to thrive through the pressure. We don't just want to survive it. Okay, and I think back to the COVID years of the business and just the mental pressure there of those times. I feel like we thrived through those times. We didn't just survive it. We got through it. We hit the ground running and we was ready to bounce back. And heck, a year after that, we created the perfecttux retail store and showroom in Los Angeles. If you're in local, come holler at us and we'll put an address right there. Okay. All right. Well, that's all we got for this week's episode. Again, please subscribe to our channel, like the video, all that good stuff. If you found some game in this episode, please share it with your friends, share it on your Facebook account. Do what you can to spread the word about the 9%. Until next time, I will catch you on the 9% show. Peace.